Hello, and welcome to this week's Ukraine update. I'll keep it short and sharp as I'm recording this pretty late. This first week of October has continued to be one of the most volatile. Russia has escalated its long-range strikes against Ukraine, while Ukraine answered back deep inside Russia with new drone and missile attacks. At the same time, Moscow and Washington have entered a dangerous new phase of political brinkmanship, with nuclear threats, false flags, and heated warnings over the possible delivery of Tomahawk cruise missiles. In this video, we'll break down what's really happening on the front lines in global diplomacy and in the skies above Russia itself. But before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on so you don't miss a video. So firstly, a battlefield update. Ukrainian intelligence has reported that Russian forces have suffered over 281,000 casualties from January to August this year, including more than 86,000 killed and 158,000 wounded. The kill to wounded ratio stands at 1 to 1.3, significantly worse than the 1 to 3 that you'd normally see in a conflict. This is largely due to the effectiveness of Ukrainian drones creating kill zones that are hard to recover people from. Heavy losses have been reported in Pokrovsk, Kremlin, and Lyman, where Russian troops are pushing to breach Ukrainian defences. In Pokrovsk, Russia aims to encircle a key rail hub, but the gains have come at a high cost. While Putin claims to have control over 2/3 of Kremlin, independent assessments indicate that they only hold 14% of the city. Additionally, Russia's elite 98th Airborne Division is being redeployed to the Kherson front. It is unknown if this is due to casualty rates or to give them some time to recover. Moscow is also intensifying its long-range weapon strikes, recently targeting Ukraine's energy infrastructure with drones and missiles, resulting in civilian casualties and damages to grain warehouses. Analysts believe that the aim is to overwhelm Ukrainian air defences and replicate last winter's blackouts, but on a larger scale. Next, the political situation. In Washington, the debate over long-range weapons for Ukraine has intensified, with the US moving towards providing Tomahawk cruise missiles and sharing targeting data for strikes deep inside Russia. The Kremlin has responded with warnings, claiming that such deliveries would escalate tensions and require US troop involvement, which could damage US-Russia relations. Former Russian President Medvedev has exaggerated that Ukraine could use these missiles against NATO capitals. Historically, Russia has issued similar threats regarding other weapon system deliveries without following through on the promised escalation, suggesting that this is mainly a tactic to influence the Western decision-making. Russia is also leveraging nuclear negotiation, with Deputy Foreign Minister offering talks in exchange for US restraint on arming Ukraine. In Europe, Russia has been conducting a hybrid intimidation campaign, including drone incursions at German airports and aggressive naval maneuvers near NATO territories, which European leaders now attribute to Moscow's deliberate fear tactics. Additionally, Ukrainian strikes such as the recent attack on the Russian oil refinery are highlighting vulnerabilities in Russia's wartime economy and causing panic buying in the affected areas. Lastly, on the long-range drone war, Ukraine has expanded its long-range strike capacity with the mass production of the FP-5 Flamingo cruise missile, which has a range of 3,000 kilometers and a warhead of just over 1 metric ton. However, it is still in early production and untested in combat, so Ukraine currently relies on drones and modified long-range weapons to target deep inside Russia. In response, Russia has significantly increased its drone production, particularly of the Iranian-designed Shahed drone, with nightly averages rising from 80 in January to 187 in September. Some strike packages now exceed 500 drones, overwhelming Ukrainian air defences. Moreover, Russia has begun conducting drone incursions into European airspaces, with incidents reported over Germany, Norway and Denmark. Analysts believe this is an effort to test radar capabilities and deter further Western arms deliveries, while Russian oil tankers are under investigation for their potential involvement in the recent airport disruptions. In conclusion, as October begins, Ukraine is digging in for another brutal winter under drone and missile fire. Russia is trying to intimidate the West into withholding more powerful weapons from Ukraine. Yet, despite the Kremlin's threats, every so-called red line so far that has been crossed without triggering a wider war. The bigger question is whether Tomahawk cruise missiles, if approved, could finally tip the balance by striking Russia's war machine deep in its heartland. For Ukraine and for NATO's credibility, the coming weeks could prove decisive. Thank you for watching, and make sure to leave your thoughts down below and give the video a like. Until next time, see you!